You know what they say, go for the head, go for the head. What if the head isn't there? What if it's protected? What if you're facing someone who knows how to defend their head but not their body? Today we were going to tell you about one of the most devastating shots in all of martial arts. Will this one hit? We'll have them seeing stars and feeling like they've been shot. It's the body shot. Why go for the head when the body is the target? It's an age-old question that has plagued warriors since the dawn of combat. But with the right technique, a well-placed body shot can be enough to turn the tide of any battle. In fact, a perfectly executed blow to the midsection can disable an opponent just as effectively as a headshot, and it's a lot easier to land. When executed correctly, this shot completely shuts down the entire body and leaves your opponent helpless on the ground. So let's take a closer look at how it works. A clean shot to the liver can shut down the entire body. You may have heard of Bruce Lee's legendary 1-inch punch, but did you know he wasn't the only one who could do it? There are many martial artists who can pack enough force into a punch to send their opponent crashing to the floor. But it takes more than just brute strength to pull off this feat. Proper technique and body mechanics are just as important, if not more so. That SY Wing Chun practitioners are especially adept at delivering knockout punches from just a few inches away. Their style relies on generating power from the waist and hips rather than the shoulders and arms. By concentrating their opponent's force directly into their midsection, even a small punch can be enough to put them down. And that's because the body contains several vulnerable areas that can be targeted to disable an opponent without causing lasting harm. Practitioners focus their attacks on key pressure points, such as the liver, stomach, and throat, aiming to disrupt the flow of chi or energy throughout the body. In fact, striking the liver is one of the most effective ways to bring down an opponent quickly and safely. The liver is the largest internal organ in the human body and plays a vital role in filtering toxins from the blood and producing proteins for blood clotting. But it's also incredibly sensitive to pain, making it an ideal target for martial artists looking to disable their opponents without causing permanent damage. A well-placed punch to the liver can cause intense pain and even temporary paralysis, giving the attacker enough time to escape or call for help. And unlike the head, which can be protected by defensive maneuvers, the liver is not as easily defended against. It's located in the upper right quadrant of the abdomen, making it a difficult target to guard against surprise attacks. Because of its vulnerability, practitioners often incorporate liver strikes into their fighting arsenal. Learning how to throw punches and kicks that target this sensitive area, with a little practice, they can master the art of the liver shot and add it to their repertoire of self-defense moves. It saps your cardio, strength, and will to fight. Probably didn't think much about your diaphragm until it got punched right in the gut. That sharp, sudden pain made you double over, gasping for air and feeling like all the fight had been knocked right out of you. It's not just your pride that took a hit, but your actual cardiovascular system. Your heart, lungs, and blood vessels are all part of your cardio system, which gets seriously affected when you get hit in the gut. When you're punched in the stomach, your abdominal muscles contract rapidly, putting a strain on your heart and lungs. Your blood vessels expand, your pulse rate goes up, and your blood pressure drops. Even if you manage to stay conscious, your vision might start to blur as your body struggles to pump blood effectively. This isn't just a physical reaction. It's your body's way of trying to protect your internal organs from further damage. The sudden pain triggers a reflex response that diverts blood flow away from your extremities and towards your vital organs, leaving you feeling weak and shaky all over. This can make it hard to coordinate your movements and even put you at risk of passing out. But the real test of your cardio is how well you can keep fighting despite these challenges. Getting hit in the gut doesn't just hurt, it saps your strength and endurance, making it harder to stay in the fight. The combination of breathlessness, weakness, and disorientation can be enough to make anyone tap out. But some fighters push through the pain and keep going, proving that sometimes it takes more than a punch in the gut to knock them out. It's the punch you don't see coming that paralyzes you. Strikes to the torso can be particularly effective in martial arts and combat, due to their ability to catch an opponent off guard. When you're focused on defending your head, it's easy to overlook the threats coming from other angles. But a well-timed punch to the body can completely paralyze your movement and leave you vulnerable to follow-up attacks. For example, a hook kick to the ribs can be devastating when it catches an opponent off guard. As they try to block the initial strike, they open themselves up to a counterpunch that targets their midsection. The sudden impact of the kick followed by the unexpected force of the punch can disorient them, making it difficult to mount an effective defense against subsequent attacks. Similarly, a spinning back fist can catch an opponent's attention and create an opening for a body shot. The surprise element of the attack makes it challenging for the defender to react in time, leaving them vulnerable to a well-placed strike that targets their torso. This element of surprise is what makes strikes to the torso so effective. When your opponent least expects it, a sudden punch or kick to the body can completely disrupt their balance and coordination. In fact, this is a common tactic used by experienced fighters who know how to bait their opponents into a false sense of security. By feinting an attack to the head, for example, they can lure their opponent into raising their guard, creating an opening for a devastating body shot. Mastering the art of surprising your opponent with strikes to the torso requires skill, timing, and a deep understanding of body mechanics. But the payoff can be worth it. When executed correctly, a well-placed punch or kick to the body can be enough to turn the tide of a fight in your favor. One of the most painful ways to lose a fight. Losing a fight is never a pleasant experience, but losing in a particular way can be downright demoralizing. And one of the worst ways to lose a fight is to be knocked out cold by a body shot. The punch you don't see coming, not only does it completely drain you of your strength, but it also leaves you humiliated and helpless on the ground. Imagine this. You're in the ring, you're going toe-to-toe with your opponent, and suddenly you feel a sharp pain in your gut like you've been stabbed with a knife. Your vision starts to blur and you feel yourself falling to the canvas, unable to move. The referee counts down, 1, 2, 3, and before you know it, you hear the dreaded words, "You are defeated." Not only were you physically hurt, but you also lost the fight. It's a scenario every fighter dreads. But it's not just about the physical pain. There's a mental and emotional toll that comes with losing consciousness in the middle of a fight. It's a feeling of utter defeat and helplessness. You're stripped of your dignity and left feeling like you're nothing but a punching bag. It's a humbling experience that can shake your confidence and make you question your skills as a fighter. But it's all part of the game. And those who compete in combat sports know that this is just another Tuesday. Do you agree with our analysis? Let us know in the comments. Make sure to check out the next video we have for you. Thanks for watching.